Beach Theory
I
fans.
just got something in my eyeball.
Oh, it's probably an eyeball.
Oh no, it's my finger.
Welcome back to another fantastic adventure. This isn't going to be going up, out of order. So as far
This
as
isn't going to go up out of order.
no,
This
we're
is
recording this like way out of order. Becca's pregnant right now, but by the time this video goes live, the baby will probably be a couple months old.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing.
Sure.
But
I don't even care. I don't care about anything right now.
You're feeling the feelings of pregnancy, and so now's the time to talk about it.
I feel like punching someone in the face. And I say that in the nicest way, but mean it in the meanest way. I'm just kidding.
I'm just glad that someone's not me.
This is why we live with other people in the house, so that just in case I'm really mad, Michael can run and hide, and there's plenty of other people for me to beat up. Just kidding.
If we didn't live with people, family, then you probably wouldn't be feeling this frustration right now.
Okay, that's true. And I already feel like, oh, great. Now I'm going to feel guilty for talking about any of this.
Well.
But no, I'm not, because this is temporary. This is how I feel right now, but it's not going to last. It's almost over. But right now, I'm angry.
So are we just wanting to talk about anger today, or do you want to actually talk about the pregnancy?
Let's talk about the pregnancy. Give a little background for why I feel angry. So, for the past... Okay, well, this pregnancy has been a lot like the others for the first half of it. And then the second half of it...
That's not true.
Yeah.
No, because for the first half of this pregnancy, you were nauseous all the time, but you never puked at all.
Well, the other ones...
With the other ones,
I puked once.
With Charlie?
No, I puked once with this one.
Oh, but that was because you gagged yourself.
When I was brushing my teeth.
But
which is the worst, by the way, because then you have to brush your teeth again.
But another thing that's been really different about this pregnancy is you found some medicine that has helped you
have more energy than I typically would have.
And to be not as nauseous as you typically are.
Pregnancy brain is a real thing. This is why he's here to tell you the real story.
You've already forgotten the first half of this pregnancy.
Well, how do you think I'm surviving right now? If I was thinking about how good or how bad it has been this whole time, I would not be able to cope, because pregnancy is hard.
Do we want to start at the start and talk about trying to get pregnant, or do you just want to?
Yeah, at first, so we found out I couldn't get pregnant actually for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 4 months that we were trying, which for us is a long time. That's never happened before. Usually when we're like, let's get pregnant, all Michael has to do is look at me, and then I'm like, done, pregnant.
So we started trying to get pregnant right after our summer road trip last summer.
During the road trip, we were at Disneyland, and I just felt this feeling like, okay, it's finally time it feels right now. We were at Disneyland, and I saw all these little kids in line, and they weren't my kids, but I was looking at all these other kids, and I just felt like, for some reason, it was time.
Yeah.
It was time to have another baby. And this is kind of crazy for us, because we have had James, Corbin, Ellie, and Charlie all almost 22 months apart. I think Ellie and Charlie are more like 20 months apart. But
right.
It was kind of crazy, because Charlie's almost 4. He will be 4 in August, and it's June right now. And that's a huge gap. That's double the gap.
Right. It is more than double. Instead of almost 2 years apart, it'll be almost 4 years apart.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that is so crazy. But it's also just, it's right. This time when...
The timing was right.
Yeah, when the time came to get pregnant, to have them be 22 months apart, this baby and Charlie, it felt wrong. And we were panicking, oh no, what are we going to do? I think we're supposed to get pregnant, because that's what we've done up until this point with this timing, but it just doesn't feel right this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided, no, it just doesn't feel right. It's too chaotic. It doesn't feel calm and peaceful and the right answer. It felt like the wrong answer. We've never had that before. up until this point. So we decided to hold off. And then I was just like, well, it was actually very good because I needed to figure out what was wrong with my body because I didn't know that I had adrenal fatigue, low iron, a B12 deficiency, or a B vitamin deficiency, which is called MTHFR. I had all these problems with my body after having 4 kids all close together that I had no idea about. And so I was just tired and unable to really do very much during the day, even though I was
pushing. But you
pushing
figured all
to.
this stuff out like a year before you wanted to start.
Yes.
So you're going way back. I'm talking like, let's
Yes.
start talking about what's happening right
No,
now.
but I'm saying like that pertains to the story because that needed to happen before we could get pregnant too.
Don't you think we will have talked about this in the timeline?
Maybe.
That's the problem with filming out of sequence.
Oh well.
Let's just talk about this pregnancy and.
So I had to get my body ready, and then this summer while we were at Disney, it just felt right. And so we started trying, and I was expecting it to happen like all the other times where I just got pregnant magically. Just kidding. But it just happened.
That's how
magically, because it was at Disneyland. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it didn't happen. And I was like, every single month, I would just bawl my eyes out anytime I had my period. And I don't typically get that emotional I do get emotional during my period, but it was worse than normal.
Well, because you were devastated that you weren't pregnant.
Because
you were wanting to be pregnant.
Because I'm spoiled. So I thought I would just get pregnant instantly because that's what's happened every single time that we've tried so far.
Right.
Which is a huge blessing for us. That's amazing. Because I know there's a lot of people that just can't or try and they just take a really long time,
Right.
So I actually went to a physical therapist, and crazy thing happened, which I've told doctors since. I think we've told 3 different doctors. And one of them flat out said, "You're lying. That doesn't happen."
It was after you were pregnant. But tell us what happened first.
Anyways, so what happened was I went to this physical therapist and I said, I have pain and bleeding when we're intimate. And she was like, let me check something. And she kind of just felt around in my stomach area and then was like, your uterus is flipped around and tilted backwards. And I was like, what? But it made sense to me because this is going to get really PG-13 R. No, it made sense to me because I felt what felt like a softball rolling on the inside of me one time when we were intimate, and it hurt so bad that I doubled over in pain and just laid on the bed for an hour until it just calmed down enough for me to move. But that happened before I ever went to her, and I didn't think too much of it other than, ouch, that hurt really bad.
And didn't that happen at a time where you thought that you were at the beginning of being pregnant?
Oh, yes, it did. I actually got a pregnancy test around that same time.
So during those same couple months where we were trying to get pregnant, for a little while you were like, I'm feeling nauseous. I think
I had like
pregnant.
the symptoms of pregnancy.
In the first trimester.
I did actually, because I did get pregnancy tests because I was late, like every month, a little bit, which doesn't happen with me. And maybe it was like my body was trying to get pregnant, but it literally couldn't, I wonder. Anyways, and my periods were a little bit more heavy during that time too.
Well, you were really
late
upset
and heavier
when you were pregnant, when you weren't pregnant yet. And we went and talked to a regular doctor, and he's like, so normally we don't get involved unless it's been, I think, 4 months. And it's only been 3 at this point. So if you still haven't gotten pregnant next month, then we'll talk and we'll take a look.
Yep.
And that's when you went and saw the physical therapist.
So I went and saw her because I was like, I don't know. I didn't even expect to bring it up to her, actually. I went for neck pain. But I just brought that up to her, and she was like, So then she kind of felt around my stomach, and I felt that softball inside of me roll. like flip back. And I knew the same feeling from before when we were being intimate. Like, I knew she put it back in place 100%. And she's like, okay, it's back in place. It all looks good. It's in the right area. I told that to, so then later I was
we got pregnant immediately after that.
Yes, we got pregnant immediately. And because it was in the right place. Right. Things went into the right place.
So we went back and saw the doctor and we told him what happened. And he was like,
whoa.
Like our regular doctor. Yeah. He was like, that's incredible. Like, I wish we could have had like an ultrasound before and after to be able to see the change.
Yep.
Because I could write a paper. He was talking about how
like, I could write a thesis.
That would be a really cool thing to document and talk about.
Yeah.
And we're like, cool, that's awesome.
He's like, if this ever happens to you again, come to me and we'll get an ultrasound and then you can go back to her and get it fixed. Well, so we had, during that time, we went to, the first doctor we actually went to was my old doctor. And he said, what did he say?
He's the one that said, give it 4 months before.
Give it 4 months. And he was like, I need you to go to this other doctor because I'm actually done doing OB work. And I was like, what? Because he actually was the one that delivered Charlie and Ellie. And I was kind of disappointed. Yeah, like, he was so awesome because we were like, yeah, we do YouTube. Can we film this? And he's like, do you want me to wear a costume? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, he was so excited to be part of it, which is great for us because we've also had doctors that have been like, no cameras at all.
Right. So he was a very big supporter, which is good.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a new doctor with this pregnancy.
And then, so in between seeing the new doctor, though, we went to an ultrasound
the 24-week
technician.
Gender reveal ultrasound.
No, different ultrasound before we ever got pregnant. I went to an ultrasound by myself. Because
I was with you.
No.
Are you talking about the ultrasound doctor?
Oh, yes, you were with me, but it was a girl. Different ultrasound before I ever got pregnant.
What I'm asking is, are you getting ready to tell about how the doctor said that's not possible?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was a different ultrasound. I actually went right after I saw the physical therapist. Oh. And she said, the ultrasound tech said, everything looks perfect.
Wait.
There's nothing wrong with you right now.
I did go with you to that one, I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I remember
But
that.
I was like, I'm pretty sure there's something wrong. And she's like, nope, there's nothing wrong. It's perfect.
Everything was right.
But I had just gone to the physical therapist and she put everything back.
Okay,
so,
I do remember that one.
Yeah, so
that
I
was
never...
brief. That was just in and out.
Yeah,
that was
it was
quick.
not...
I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did see a different ultrasound. So then later... during the pregnancy, after I got pregnant,
I think this is at 24 weeks when they do the gender, like the full measurements and everything.
Yes.
We went and saw the actual ultrasound technician doctor guy.
And I told him that story about how it was out of place and she put it back. And he was like, nope, that doesn't happen. That's not even possible. You don't know what you're talking about. And I was like...
He was very blunt. And I was
very rude.
I was quite shocked, actually, at how blunt he was like, that's not true. That's not possible.
I was thinking, why would I lie?
Yeah.
Like, this is not... You don't lie about something like this.
Right.
But maybe other people do, and he's had a bad experience. I don't know. But for me, I was just like, what? I was so frustrated.
You kind of shut down after that.
I was just like... Fine, I'm not going to say anything to you. If you're going to tell me I'm a liar to my face, like, how rude. Yeah. But I know that that's what happened because I was the one that was in my body.
And you felt it.
And I'm the one that felt it. Like, I went through it. You can't tell me I didn't go through that.
Well, the fact that you weren't getting pregnant before and then immediately afterwards you got pregnant and you felt it.
I felt it both times. I felt it go out of place and I felt it go back into place.
Right. Sometimes doctors don't know everything.
Yeah. That's kind of why I went to the physical therapist.
Right.
Well, and that's the other thing. I asked the doctor, what would you have done if it was flipped around and twisted and tilted? Mm-hmm. And he said, oh, we would have had to do surgery. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad that I went in.
Because if you hadn't gone to your physical therapist, we would have thought surgery was the only option. We would have just trusted the doctor was because true. And
when we ended up telling them later, they were like, oh, wow, I can't believe that it worked like that. Right. Like, they were so shocked by that they never would have recommended that. They didn't even know it could happen.
Yeah.
That a physical therapist could fix that. So
So don't always believe everything.
It was a miracle.
Like, and I'm not going to say that doctor was lying.
No.
But you can't always assume that a doctor just knows everything.
Yeah.
They're not all knowing about the human body in every single way that it could possibly be healed or injured.
But if you're a doctor and you feel like you know everything, good for you.
But just don't be rude to people who also feel like they might know something about their own body.
Especially because I went through it.
Right.
Like, that was a real thing. And all of the evidence suggests that it's true.
So what vitamins have you been taking during this pregnancy?
Oh my goodness.
That's been helping you?
So I take a special thing called Plexus. That's the brand of it. But it helps with the B vitamin deficiency that I have and the adrenal fatigue that I have. And then I had really low iron through this pregnancy. So low that they were like, and I was actually taking 2 iron pills a day. And they were like, it's really low. And I was like, I'm taking iron. So they actually prescribed me to take like liquid iron, ferrous sulfate or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been taking 2 teaspoons of that every single day to make sure that I am not too low.
I went and picked up these 2 big bottles of the ferrous sulfate from the pharmacy because that's what the doctor told us to get. Yeah. And they're like, normally we don't do this.
What are you doing
What
is
this for? And I was like, it's for her she's pregnant.
The first thing I would have thought, because I wasn't there, the first thing I would have thought when he said that would have been, is there like people that make bombs with this or something?
There's something about it that I don't know about. Basically, she's just chugging iron at this point.
Yeah.
Pumping iron, chugging iron, all the things iron. But the doctor's done an iron test since, and he said
it's perfect.
Perfectly normal.
Yep.
It's not even high, but you're just like taking so much iron.
Yeah.
And it tastes nasty.
Tastes like blood.
Right.
Liquid blood.
No joke.
It tastes exactly like blood.
Well, when you taste your blood, you're probably tasting the iron.
If you hurt yourself, you suck your finger, that's exactly how it tastes.
And so you mix it with orange juice.
And I've almost thrown up every single day. Yes, I have to put it in orange juice or else I'm going to be...
Or else you look like a vampire.
I'm like, I hate the vampire life.
Suck of blood. You're going to be addicted to that flavor.
Oh, no. I am never going to... When you just... Something gross...
Take a bite.
No, thanks. I have enough now.
I'm just glad that your iron level's good. Like all your levels, I feel like are good. This is the first time I feel like you've been pregnant and you've also been able to like take enough supplements and things to actually be healthy throughout it.
And that's one side of the story.
So sick.
Yes, I'm not terribly sick. However, there's 2 major things for me that I've had during this pregnancy that I've not had with any other pregnancy. And that is heartburn. I've actually never had heartburn in my life until this pregnancy, which is amazing because most people have heartburn in every pregnancy.
Or when they're not pregnant.
And I've had really swollen ankles and feet and even hands, like my hands. If I wasn't wearing this plastic rubber ring, I would not be able to wear one at all because my hands just get so swollen and my feet get swollen and my face is swollen and everything's swollen. Maybe I'm just gaining weight.
It's also a phenomenon you've never really experienced.
Well, yes, I have. Which brings me to my next topic about anger.
Wait, before you get into anger,
you're like, slow down, hold on.
There's a couple other things with this pregnancy. So, you were taking something to combat the nausea in the first trimester,
yes,
which you've never been able to do before.
I've never done that, and I would have had a much worse pregnancy.
What was that? You don't take it anymore.
It's actually over-the-counter travel sickness medicine. It's like Dramamine, but it's better than Dramamine. And I got it just at Walmart over the counter. Like, I went and talked to one of the pharmacy people, and she's like, I was just pregnant. This is what I used. It's perfect, and it's not going to hurt you at all. Like, there's no bad side effects or anything like that. It's really good. Other than I got addicted to it, and I didn't know. I was addicted to it. I had been taking it for a month or 2, and I was like, I ran out of it, actually. And for 4 days, I had like a fever, and I was horribly sick, and I just felt so terrible. But I thought it was just because I was catching a cold or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was a different sickness, but it actually ended up being, for some reason I was like, I think I want to look up Dramamine addiction. And I looked it up, and it's a real thing. And all of the symptoms I was having for those 4 days were withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. So from that point on, I tried really hard not to take it consistently. Only if I like was so sick and I needed something.
Yeah.
But now I realize some of that sickness was actually heartburn. And I didn't know because I had never had heartburn before in my life. So
you just assumed. Well, that's interesting because now the doctor's having you take Zantac. Is that what it's called?
Yes, I think so.
For the heartburn. But a couple other things too about this pregnancy: no gestational diabetes,
which is amazing because I had that last time, and
the
chances of having it over and over again are actually pretty
very
high.
Yeah. Typically, if you have it with one, you're gonna have it with all of them.
Yeah.
And also no group B strep, which is good.
Yes. That one's just unpredictable. You never know. So anyways, it's every single pregnancy is different.
Mm-hmm.
They are not the same. You can't expect everything to happen exactly the same way. You're in a different time in your life. You're older, you're younger, you're never going to be younger.
So, the second trimester I feel like was probably your best.
Definitely. I was going to the gym twice a week.
Right. We were doing really good.
I was so strong and so
You went
healthy.
to the gym throughout the whole pregnancy, except not hit or miss during the first trimester.
Yeah, because we were like traveling a lot.
We traveled a little bit.
We were at Disney, and we did a few different things.
We did a few things. That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But then after at week 28, you started having preterm labor, like really bad. We filmed all day.
Oh, man.
And then that night.
So I went to the gym in the morning. Then I got home and Michael's like, we got to film. And I was like, okay. I set it all up and we went straight down to my hometown where I grew up. And we like filmed a video where it was what is it? Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
I have hiccups right now.
So we filmed all these videos and you were running up and down stairs of these old pioneer homes.
Yes.
And we were all feeling good.
4 times probably up and down stairs, 2 flights of stairs.
Because you went into the house first to kind of scout and set things up. And then we went
Which was so great. A really good video.
Yeah, the videos did well and they were fun. And then we filmed the video, so you were up and down the stairs again. And then we went to another house and did the exact same thing.
Up and down both 2 flights of stairs.
And then we drove
times.
Drove an hour back home.
Which even driving can make you have contractions.
Right.
We drove for an hour there and an hour back. And
then that night you were like, I'm having all these contractions.
I feel really sick, like horrible.
Yeah.
And I realized I hadn't had like any water all day.
Yeah. So you're super dehydrated, which causes preterm labor.
And I exercised, which can sometimes cause preterm labor. And I worked all day very hard, which sometimes
causes preterm labor.
Oh, there's somebody here.
The neighbors are getting their dogs.
Their dogs always come over.
So it was just a perfect storm for you to go into labor at 28 weeks.
And then I go in and I find out I'm dilated to a 2.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
Calm down.
Oh.
You chugged like a gallon of water that night.
Yes.
And the contractions stopped.
Down. So I didn't have the baby.
But it was the next day that we went in for a checkup because we were concerned maybe you progressed.
And by the way, I never, with the other pregnancies, I probably would have just gone straight to the hospital at that point.
Well, because we've learned through Charlie, we had lots of false alarms with Charlie.
Yes.
That the first thing they're going to do is hydrate you.
Make you drink tons of water because most of the time preterm labor is caused by dehydration.
Right.
If you didn't know that, you should know that.
So this is actually some really good tips for pregnant women.
Yes, if you want to stay pregnant.
If you're having a preterm labor, make sure you're drinking tons of water and not only just regular water.
Speaking of that.
Yeah, chug. Electrolyte water. The doctor has said, because if they hook you up to an IV,
it has electrolytes.
It has electrolytes. And so the doctor says, don't just drink plain water all day.
Yep.
Drink electrolytes.
Sometimes if you drink plain water, it will just go straight through you and it actually doesn't hydrate you.
It doesn't absorb. But if you drink like, we get like Powerade Zero sugar. So it just has like.
Or Propel.
Yeah. Which is just flavored electrolyte water.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic.
And it's been really good.
So
other than I don't like drinking it, but it's better than having a baby early. But now I'm not gonna have a baby early because I'm past due. Just kidding, I'm not past due.
But we were at 28 weeks and we were like, okay, well, you have to just take it super easy because we don't want you to go into labor now. Like at 28 weeks, I think the survival rate's 50-50.
Oh, it was actually not. It was a lot higher than that.
Was
I
it?
think. I thought it was like 90%.
But good
still
chances of like
hard
long-term
problems. And long-term being in the hospital for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So
we went into the doctor the next day because we were like, okay, are we going to be like super dilated? Is the baby going to come?
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, looks like you might be dilated to a 3.
Yeah. 2.5, 3.
Maybe a 3.
60% effaced. Like, I was like, I mean, if you watch the Becca Beach channel, my channel, I was like, what? No way! Like I was almost like, you're kidding! Like I didn't even believe.
Right.
Ellie's wearing a pretty dress. I remember that from like Jessica wearing it. I'm pretty sure that's an old dress.
Wait, there's so many distractions.
Anyways, ADD.
Maybe like putting covers on those doors.
I know, filming. Right? I can't see.
Filming in progress. Do not distract.
Do not distract me. I have ADD.
So you got checked and you were just blown away. You were like, I can't believe I'm progressed that far.
Because that's never happened before, at least not that early. Right. Which now, looking back, I think what did it not only was the dehydration, but I really think that night when I was like in labor, I think I had already dilated by that point from all of the exercise I had been doing.
Right.
Because during exercising, I would have horrible pain in between my legs.
Right.
And now I know that was dilating.
Right.
Maybe that's what I need to do now. Go to the gym, have my trainer just train me to death until I just have the baby.
They should do like the break my water exercise routine.
Oh my goodness.
They have like a little mini trampoline. And squat.
This sounds really like a torture center or something.
So we were like, okay, we were freaked out because we went and saw the doctor and they said you're progressed. We're like, okay, we have to make sure that you do not progress anymore. Yeah. So literally every day was like, chug that water, stay in
Drink
bed,
a gallon of water, stay in bed,
take it easy.
And even going up and down the stairs, which is nice because at this house we're not going up and down stairs, but at the last house I was going up and down the stairs once or twice a day.
Right.
But even just going down once like would put me into contractions and I would have to lay down for like hours.
I think for a few days after that experience, you were always on the edge of having contractions. It felt like they were at any minute you were just going to have a huge contraction experience. And so
because I did.
Right.
It was nonstop. It was like from that point on, I was like doing everything I could possibly do to slow it down.
You're almost on bed rest.
Yes.
And the doctors didn't seem very concerned.
But I went to my physical therapist and she's like, I trust her. I really trust her. And she's like, I think you know your body really well. And I was saying, I know. And I asked I asked the doctors about bed rest and they're like, no, you could probably still keep exercising and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, you don't even understand because I go up and down the stairs and I start having consistent hard contractions
and
pain like nonstop. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to listen to my body. And I kind of decided to just put myself on bed rest, which was the right decision. It really was, because I think we would have had a baby weeks and weeks ago.
Months ago,
yeah.
Because I think that you probably would have gone into full-blown labor and had the baby early if we hadn't
been so
careful. Yeah,
we were just like, no, we need to be careful because we didn't tell anyone this, but we were trying to buy a house right then, and we were trying to do all this different stuff, making videos and trying to keep from having a baby. So we were just like running like chickens with our heads cut off. Well, Michael was, and I was like, well,
that's true actually. So the day that we were like, okay, Becca, you need to be on bed rest. You got to just take it easy.
Yeah.
Like I had to step up more than ever and just do everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like making her breakfast every day, like,
trying to keep
her down, trying to relax her, take care of all the kids, take care of all the filming, keep the whole house clean. Because I'm like, okay, if she sees that there's anything that needs to be done, she's going to be
feel like there's no choice.
Oh, I have to get up. I have to do this thing. And so
I have a family I have to take care of.
So in order to make sure that her mind was at ease, I had to do all of my work and her work.
Because he knows me so
because
well.
I knew that was the only way to get her to actually stay in bed and take it easy.
Thank you. You're a very good husband.
It was really hard to get you to slow down.
I know. Well, the thing is, I don't think I didn't realize how much stuff I do in a day. Like, naturally, when I don't have pain,
You're amazing.
Thanks.
You do so much.
Thanks.
And there's so many times where I'm like, I miss Becca. This is really hard.
I miss her. Even though I'm like right next to you.
Right. But I miss
I'm not doing
your productivity and your help, because it's hard to do it all by myself.
It really is. It really is. But you've really done a good job. So
and there were so many days where I was like, Becca, if you do nothing else today, we just have to film one video.
And it was like, okay, well then lay down all day.
So you would sleep until like 2 p.m.
Yep.
And then I'd be like, okay, if you can just get up for an hour, let's just film one video because I need you. I can't do every video by myself every day.
Labor is work, by the way.
Right.
Like, they call it labor for a reason.
So
and when you're going through contractions, like, it'll wipe you out, make you just sleep and sleep. Even if you have all your vitamins, even if you have everything, all the food you need, all the water you need, you'll still just be wiped out. Anyways. If you watch the 24-hour long video, not 24-hour challenge, we're talking 24 hours long.
On the beach house.
On the beach house. I'm pretty sure that was after I had gone into labor.
I think so.
Because I was so tired and so wiped out. And then, like, in the middle of, but I was showing that, like, not trying to hide what our daily life is like. And then, like, I put on a show for the Becca and Ryan show, like, put as much energy as I could into it. And then I was like, ugh. After it was over, I'm just, like, passing out. So tired.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like, but I feel like, so every day was a struggle. Every day was a challenge to keep you pregnant. Yeah. And then we slowly progressed further and further. And I think at week 28, that's basically the beginning of the third trimester.
Yeah.
So it's basically been your entire third trimester where you've essentially been on bed rest and taking it easy just to try and stay pregnant. And the doctor, and every subsequent doctor visit, whether it was 2 weeks or 1 week or surprise visits, you've never progressed. Like, literally the checkup last week, you were still at a 2.
Yep. And 60%.
And nothing's progressed.
And I was actually really disappointed because I was thinking, well, I think I'm far enough along that if anything happens, it's good. You know, 35 weeks last week. 36 weeks last week.
Right.
I'm 37 and a half now.
Yeah, actually, today's Friday. Yeah, so you're a few days past 37.
Yeah.
Well, you have a doctor's appointment today.
Yes, right after this, actually. And
you're going to have that baby, like, any day.
Which brings me to my next point, which is anger.
the point you've been wanting to talk about this whole podcast.
That was the first thing I wanted to talk about.
Well, because that's what's fresh on your mind right now.
Yeah.
I woke her up this morning and she's just like, I'm like, oh no.
Not again.
I'm getting out of here.
I'm gonna get it.
Quick, kids, get in the bed. We're getting out of this.
I'm laughing through tears right now.
So tell us why you're angry, dear.
I have social anxiety when I'm pregnant. I cannot stand hearing other people's opinions about me when I'm pregnant, I think. Because I am really, in my own body right now, I have no say as to how... I have no control over my own body right now. Like, it's just growing. It's getting bigger. That's good. It's for the baby. But people say things and it hurts. Like, they'll say things even in passing that just make me feel crappy. And I take offense when I'm pregnant. When I'm not pregnant, I don't take offense to little things. Like, I'm just like, Well, I mean, maybe I do, but not a ton. Not like this. It's different. Mostly because, and I was explaining this to Michael this morning, that I can joke around when I feel good. Like, I joke around and I can deflect people's judgments or the mean things they might say without thinking really easily. But when I'm pregnant, I don't feel good and I can't cope the way I normally do with those things because I'm not joking as much. I can't just be like, I can't just call somebody out if they say something really rude to me and be like, oh yeah, that's real nice of you, or be sarcastic, or push it back on them and be like, how rude. But when I'm pregnant, I'm just like, ow, that hurt me like a lot and I'm not feeling good enough to joke, and now I feel terrible for weeks.
And I hear all about it.
I trust you. The thing is, like, you say something like, oh wow, you're really looking big. And I go,
when was the last time I said that?
No,
though?
I'm saying if you did say that.
I never even say that.
But listen.
Okay.
Good defending yourself. It's okay.
Don't hurt me.
I was just thinking about this morning, and I was thinking, if you were to say something like that, I would take it seriously and go, he's not going to say that unless he thinks there's something wrong.
Right.
Like, or there's some reason to say that.
Because I would never do anything to try and hurt you just because.
Because you see the pain I'm going through the most out of anyone. Yeah. And how, like, physically I'm going through pain. Emotionally I'm going through pain. And you understand that the best out of anyone, and like you're not gonna say something hurtful like, wow, you look fat, are you having twins? Which other people have said to me, and that hurts.
Especially because those people know that you're not having twins,
and that makes me even more mad, because it's like, are you trying to hurt me? Don't say that. Like, I've told you I'm not having twins.
Well, it hurts because that's just basically a roundabout way of saying you look extra big and fat during this pregnancy.
And I think something's wrong with you.
Right.
You should talk to the doctor about that. And it's like, okay. That's adding insult to injury when you're pregnant, when people say stuff like that. Right. Because you're already hurting. You already have no control over your body. I was just thinking about this in the shower. I was so mad. And Michael came in. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm angry.
And she gets this look in her eyes when she's angry. Normally, Becca's face is full of mirth and joy and happiness.
You said mirth. When do you ever use the word mirth?
It's a word.
I have a mirth face, okay.
It's a happy, like, joyful, but when she gets angry, her eyes get, like, narrow.
Like, I'm gonna kill someone.
And there's no happiness on that face at all. But except when she does smile, but she's also angry, it's like a
evil smile. Wow, Michael, you make me. For those of you listening on the podcast and not watching the video, I actually look really nice, but
not when you're angry.
Okay, maybe not.
You're terrifying.
He's scared of me.
That's true.
But I was just thinking about something, and this is something that I've thought about for actually a very long time, because I feel like I'm gonna call some people out, not personally.
Go whatever you want to do.
Are you nervous?
I'm always nervous.
I feel like sometimes people who are overweight also pick on people that are underweight or that are skinny. Like, I hear often from people that are overweight, you have no problems, or you're so skinny, or I don't know, like, you can eat whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. Or you don't even have to work out because you're nothing compared to how overweight I am. Or that person just gave you more food than they gave me. How rude. Or what I feel like there's more. I've heard so many things that are like putting me down because I'm usually skinny. And if I were to say those exact same things to them in the flipped version, talking about them being overweight, they would be hurt so bad. And
but they think because you're skinny
that
and
it
healthy
doesn't hurt me,
and pretty, that you're just invulnerable to.
And they think I don't really
insult.
actually have to work for it. I work so hard when I'm not pregnant, when I can do something about it, to like look good and to feel good and to be healthy. And so to hear things like, I went to a salon once, and my friend, who I guess I thought it was my friend, she was like ranting about how skinny I was and how I never have to work a day in my life to do that, and how it just naturally comes. And she was ranting with this other lady who was also a little bit overweight about how unfair life was. And I'm sitting there like, I work my butt off. I literally work my butt off. Like, I don't do nothing and get this. I make sacrifices. I don't, like, when I'm not pregnant, I'm talking about when I'm not pregnant, I don't eat unhealthy. I eat really healthy, which is a huge sacrifice. Like, that doesn't come naturally at all.
When I met you, you loved junk food.
Yeah. I've had to change my entire lifestyle in order to become someone that can lose weight, or that can take care of their body, or that can be skinny. And it really frustrates me when other people say, you get it handed to you. You don't even have to work for that.
That's
you
unfair.
Spoiled brat. Life is unfair.
Right.
And I look at them and go, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life that makes it so unfair for you that you can complain to my face and make me feel bad about all the hard work I'm doing when you aren't doing those things? And yet you're saying, there's nothing I can do. I'm overweight. There's nothing I can do. And that's just my life, and it's unfair. And I'm going to take it out on you, the person who's doing something about it. That makes me mad. The other thing is, right now, I have low defenses because I can't joke very much because I'm very uncomfortable and feel like my body is out of control. You know, I have no control of my body right now.
It's interesting that you say that, because I think that, you know, you talk about how you have no control over your body, and, you know, your body is getting bigger because you're pregnant, and all these things, like, you have no power over what your body's doing because you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you and I were talking about abortion the other day.
Wait. I have one thought. I have to say it really quick.
Go ahead.
When I get critiqued or have somebody who is overweight tell me, wow, you look really big. Wow, you look, you need to do, like, I don't know. Whenever somebody says something like that to me when I'm pregnant, all I can think is all the mean things I want to say to them about how they have control and I don't.
Right.
And they're pointing out that I am overweight. And if I were to point out that they were overweight and they actually have some control over it, they would be devastated. That would hurt them so bad. And yet they're doing that to me when I literally have no control over it. So
you're angry that people are able to say mean things to you and you're not able to say it back.
Yeah.
Because you're a nice person.
And yet they're just being so thoughtless. Like, that makes me feel really bad. And it makes me so angry that it keeps me up at night because I'm thinking of all the mean things that I could say back to them that I don't. I am, because I'm like, if I were a mean person, I would say this, you know, like, but it makes sense. Like, right. And sometimes I'm just like, maybe I should say those things. Maybe it wouldn't hurt me so bad if I did say those things back. At least to call them out on how rude they're being, and maybe they don't realize it, you know, like, okay, now you can say that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm really angry right now.
I'm glad you got to say what you wanted to say. Because the thing is, if you were to try and tell this exact same story after the birth,
I would not feel this way.
You wouldn't have the same emotion.
It's different because I'm not going through it.
Right.
I wouldn't be going through it.
Right. And that's why I think it's good for you to say it now while you're going through it, because that emotion is so raw and pure and real that you can't feel that same.
Not that it's good.
Well, no, but it is. You can't just deny that that's something that you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
It's
if I was not going through it right now, I might deny that I went through it later.
Or you might be able to dismiss it as not being as bad as you thought.
Yes.
But when you're in the moment, it is bad and it is hard.
Yes.
And it's important to document that so that you can remember. Like, not to dwell on the negative, but just to...
And I will let it go. I'm not going to stay like this forever.
I know.
And I know I'm feeling overly passionate about it right now because it hurts right now.
Right.
Because I'm uncomfortable right now. Because I'm really big right now. Like, I'm so pregnant and there's nothing I can do about it until I just have the baby.
Right.
It's out of my control.
The point I was wanting to make was we were talking about abortion and how, women say, well, it's my body, it's my choice.
Yeah.
But I don't think what they're taking into account is that there is another body inside of your body.
Yep.
That is not their body.
I cannot say, it's my body, now kick, and make the baby kick.
The baby inside of you
has its own agency.
It has its own agency.
It's its own body.
It's its own body. It has its own feelings.
And anyone who says that it's otherwise has never been pregnant and does not know.
The reason I brought that up is because you talk about how you don't have control over your body right now. And I think that's because there's a being inside of you that is alive and is independent of you.
Totally.
It's dependent on you, but independent of
me.
you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so because of that baby's growing and it's getting bigger and it needs this space, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Which,
it's going.
When I feel good, I think that's great.
Yeah.
When I am feeling sick or miserable or fat because of it, then it's harder to look on the positive. Right. It's harder to be positive about that. And this is what I wanted. I have to keep reminding myself, I wanted to be pregnant. I wanted to have a baby.
I chose this.
I chose this. This is my agency. But the thing is, like, right now, I don't see a baby yet.
Right.
Even though I know, I keep telling myself, you're going to actually have a baby. Right. Just because I haven't had one yet, I almost feel like I'm in this endless state of misery and there's no control. I have no control and I'm very uncomfortable and there's nothing to show for it. So I'm just miserable.
And I just keep reassuring you, Becca, you're past 37 weeks. The baby's going to come any day now.
And it will be great. And I will forget all this. And then I'll do it again.
In a couple of years or whenever.
Maybe.
But you're going to have that baby any day. Like, literally every day I think I wake up and I'm like, today's probably going to be the day.
Today's the day.
Unless we have a lot of filming, then I'm like, it can't happen today. But every other day I'm like, it's going to happen today.
You keep like going, okay, you can have the baby today. Today's the day. Today's the day.
Well, because I literally have days in my schedule that I'm keeping open on purpose, hoping that will be the day that you have the baby.
Well, let's just cross our fingers and pray that happens.
And so I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be a day where we get a lot of work done so that the next day can be open so that we can have the baby that day.
And obviously, I could get like a C-section or something if I wanted to make it happen. But the thing is, I don't want to make it happen. I don't want to have a surgery because I'm too impatient and hurt my body more. I think, yeah. Anyways,
it'll happen when it's ready.
It'll happen when it's ready. It's not going to be forever, but mentally, right now, it feels like it's going to be forever.
Just like this podcast is forever. This is a long episode.
Because I was so passionately angry about life.
Well, I'm glad we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much it at this point. We're just kind of waiting every day until the baby comes.
Yeah. And emotionally, I just want to run away and not talk to anyone until the baby comes.
She keeps saying, let's just get in the RV and go away until the baby comes.
Which doesn't make any sense because all the baby stuff is here. And it's all set up and ready to go.
But I think you're wanting to avoid people.
I just want to not talk to people. I just hate people right now.
That's a good thing we have cameras. This camera is not a person.
I know, or else I would be like, I don't want to talk to you.
We don't have to worry about reading the body language of this camera.
Yeah.
Reacting to our topic.
Well, I just am not sensitive. Cody's in the room. Now I don't want to talk anymore. Just kidding.
Wait, Cody's in here? I get so lost in my own thought. Shout out to Cody, our sound technician, who makes all of these podcasts possible.
And who wrote our theme song music.
He is amazing, and I'm really glad that he's helping us with.
And who has a new channel called Side Quest, guys. I'm pretty sure they just ate a whole can of cheese puffs. You know, the big cans.
Wait, that's coming out today, right?
Huge.
Okay. Cool.
Sold by then.
That's true. I'll have to go watch it.
So, anyways, if you see me in public right now, I hate
Be
people.
Be nice. Just tell her how beautiful she looks.
No, I think it's only people who are close enough to me that know me well that can hurt me right now.
That's true.
It's weird. It's really weird. I just want to live under a rock and call myself Patrick for a while. Okay, bye.
Are we done? Is that it? I think that's it for this podcast.
I need a tissue.
The next podcast, we will be talking about the birth.
Well, that's what we said last time.
No, we never said that.
We said we're going to have the baby next time, probably.
Oh. That is true, actually.
So, probably not. No, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just stay pregnant forever.
Well, if you think about when this podcast is going up, then by that time we will have the baby, because this is going to be like months from now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I promise you're not going to still be pregnant.
Okay, fine, good.
So in the next podcast, we will be talking about the birth.
With my luck, I'll be pregnant still.
Becca, with your track record, you will have the baby before 40 weeks.
That's true.
You always have.
Music to my ears. You just keep telling me that.
I sure love you.
I love you too. Thanks for not telling me I look like I'm having twins every day.
When I look at you, all I see is perfection.
Thanks.
And
a
beauty.
Lot.
And
That's
grace.
really nice of
And
you. Mirth. All right. Thanks
we love
for
you guys.
listening.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Don't judge me. I'm going to be a completely different person in the before and after podcasts of this.
That's true. There's going to be a huge contrast between this podcast and the
You're
next one.
You're going to be like, wow, she's actually like a nice person. And maybe
people remember
different.
you from before the pregnancy. They know you're a good person.
Good. I'm just a different person right now because
That's true.
I hate life. No, I'm just kidding. Life hates
That
me.
guy. Don't say I'm just kidding and then keep singing that bad song.
Life and I just don't agree.
All right. Well, before she starts going into this downward spiral of depression,
I know. Don't.
That's it for today's podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we're doing the video as well as audio. You guys can actually leave us comments there. But on Anchor, where we post these podcasts, you can leave us voice replies. Send us some questions, and I think it'd be fun to do some Q&A podcasts after we record the birth podcast.
Thanks for letting me complain, guys. You're my friend. I know it.
And that's it. So we'll be out of here. Pop the game. Bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.